This week on Most Craved, I don't care.
A lot of television is coming your way.
Mad about Max, baby, yeah. Like in that sitcom. Remember the sitcom?
Hey guys, welcome to Most Craved. I'm Jenna Bush with Legion of Leia.
I'm Silas Lesnick with ComingSoon.net.
I'm William Bibiani with Crave Online. Hey, have you seen Mad Max yet? Because Silas and I have, and it's pretty great.
I am so freaking excited for this movie.
Yeah?
I keep watching the trailers and the featurettes over and over and over again, and I can't wait. It's so exciting. Things blow up. Woo!
It's so nice that the story behind Mad Max, at least initially thus far, has been, holy crap, how much can everyone love a movie? Like, we all kind of hoped it'd be a fun action movie, but I'm one of the critics who's absolutely raving about it. I'm not alone. People are calling it a masterpiece. I'm saying I think it's one of the best action films I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's not hyperbole. We're so used to hyperbole. We're so used to using awesome to describe a sandwich that we don't know what, like, actual praise is. This movie is incredible.
It's like a really good sandwich.
It's like a really good sandwich.
It just works on every level. The acting is top-notch. The action is top-notch. It looks beautiful. You could mute the thing and just look at it, and it's breathtaking.
I did that with the trailer.
But it also has a lot to say. It's a really interesting film.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are sort of surprised at actually the fact that it's not really Max's movie. Tom Hardy plays Max Rockatansky, taking over for Mel Gibson, but he's not the main character. The protagonist who drives the story forward is actually Charlize Theron, and she's escaping this evil badass, the Immortan Joe, with his like clutch of trophy wives. And they're just tearing through the desert while all these men are trying to kill them. And a lot of people are like, that is totally awesome. And some people are like, wait a minute, it's not about men. Like, you needed more movies about
There are not, to be fair, there aren't a lot of movies about men.
This would have been the first film in which men did something badass. But Max is there too. He's just pulled into other people's journeys. That's what happens in frankly, the last two Mad Max movies. Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome was just him walking into someone else's story and messing it up. So that's fine. That's perfectly reasonable, even if you wanted more Max in the movie.
Charlize Theron looks so badass. I watched her featurette, which was amazing, and I like when things blow up.
I've heard George Miller say too that the way he sort of views Mad Max as this like legendary figure who's out there. So like, there's almost a notion of like, oh, is this a story that happened, or is this a story that this legendary figure has been added into just as the tale gets retold?
And that explains a lot, because there's actually like some kind of wonky continuity between the Mad Max movies in terms of what happened and when and how fast the apocalypse really took over. Because in the first Mad Max, society's still around. Like, it's just like things are getting a little lawless, but then like Road Warrior supposedly takes place like 4 years later. All of society has collapsed. There are no more buildings. We've all given up and put on masks and started having sex with each other and blowing up cars.
What's wrong with that?
I'm just amazed it only took 4 years. Like, I would have thought that would have been a gradual transition. Anyway, Mad Max Fury Road, it's absolutely amazing. Some people are thinking Pitch Perfect 2 might actually beat it, though, because it's more recent and popular.
There's the numbers argument, and I don't know how that's going to turn out. I think Mad Max, even if it's not number one, it is going to have some serious legs, because it is a movie that like you're going to want to see again immediately after seeing it.
And you're going to tell everyone word of mouth is going to be great.
So don't leave the theater. Stay in.
Don't
Watch
leave
it
the
again.
theater. See it as a double feature.
I did not say that.
Pitch Perfect 2 and Mad Max Fury Road, great girl power double feature. I saw Pitch Perfect 2. It's actually very funny.
Makes total sense.
Well done. They're both good. Both good. What else have we got?
Okay, so Warner Brothers is reportedly doing a Fugitive on the big screen, but we don't know if it's a sequel or a reboot, or if it's connected more to the TV show or the 1993 film, or if Harrison Ford will be in it. So we have lots of details.
This week on That's Barely News.
I know.
What are we supposed to do with this? It is exciting, though. The Fugitive television series, the finale of the first Fugitive television series is still like the fourth most watched episode of television ever. There was like 75 million people watching it. It was a big, big deal. Then when they made it into a movie the first time, it got nominated for Best Picture, won supporting actor for Tommy Lee Jones, over like Ralph Fiennes and Schindler's List and Leonardo DiCaprio and Winston Gilbert Grape. It was a big deal. And then they did a spin-off U.S. Marshals that wasn't very good. And then they did a reboot TV series with Tim Daly. That wasn't very good. But the point is, this one could be good again.
I sort of am intrigued by the possibility that we don't know what it is quite yet, because just by the fact that it had U.S. Marshals, it's one of those weird franchises that its branch into its own little universe is kind of cool. And I love that. I would be very happy with a movie that is set in the same continuity. Follow Harrison Ford's daughter.
Or Wesley Snipes' daughter.
Or bridge
yes.
the TV show and the movie, make the Highlander endgame of the Fugitive franchise.
I know, that's
Oh,
terrible.
I loved Highlander.
I love Highlander. I didn't love Highlander Endgame.
Well, no, but the show was good. The TV show was good.
Show was
They did
okay,
well.
I
That was
guess.
totally cool.
You finally cast Donnie Yen in a Highlander movie, a guy who actually knows how to sword fight, and like you kill him like the worst, dumbest Boba Fett way.
There's that.
We're off track. The thing is, the Fugitive. Some people are like, will Harrison Ford be back? Harrison Ford is quite old, and Tommy Lee Jones is actually 11 years older than the legal like forced retirement age for U.S. Marshals.
And
It's going to have to be new.
And Harrison Ford keeps injuring himself, so like, don't just let him do a movie. Like, sit behind his back.
Harrison, like,
think-
take care of yourself, man. We're really worried about you. You don't have to keep making these big action movies. We're fine. I actually loved you in 42, dude. You were
true.
really acting and like having like a fun character. It was like your best role since Mosquito Coast. Like, nicely done.
Wow.
But on the other hand, he is doing some. He's returning to Star Wars. He's returning to Blade,
Blade Runner,
Runner.
yeah.
He may personally have an interest in going back to some of the things that he liked doing.
Oh yeah, totally. And I mean, seriously, like if he wants to keep doing it, cool. I worry about you.
I'm worried about him jumping off of that dam again.
The man crashed a plane into a golf course and got up and walked away. He's fine.
That is because he is actually Han Solo.
That is true. That's true. I think that makes him Launchpad McQuack. But anyway,
Right, that too.
what do we got else? What else we got?
A lot of television. Networks are figuring out their schedule for the fall right now, and we are getting hit with a lot of exciting new shows. Some more exciting than others. Some of the bigger ones are this mysterious new DC show called DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
That was fun.
They've also
Yeah,
got a
totally
new Supergirl series.
Yes, I'm very excited. Greg Berlanti and Ali Adler are doing this, and they put out a new picture of the costume, which is not as dark and saturated, and you all know how I feel about that. And it looks really good. So I'm really
Cool.
excited for Supergirl.
That's cool. Is there any word on Preacher yet? Because that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Preacher,
with
I think,
Dominic Cooper.
is another year away. I think.
I think
But
Okay.
so too.
That's the one that I have the highest hopes for, I think. Supergirl might be great, might not. We'll find
I
out.
think it'll be great.
Lucifer, everything I'm hearing is that it looks kind of...
I don't love the trailer for Lucifer, and in fact, it almost, speaking of Preacher, it's being sold like a reverse Preacher of like, oh, the devil abandoned. Yeah, I haven't read.
I hated it when the devil abandoned us. Like, you bastard, we needed you.
But he even has the like word of God power that Jesse Custer has.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that from the comics?
I have not read. I
Yeah.
believe it's Mike Carey did
Yeah,
the
that's one I
series.
haven't read.
It spins off of the Lucifer of Sandman.
Right.
The Neil Gaiman, Sam Keith created.
Yeah. And you know, it looks cute. I don't know. I just Supergirl.
So,
the other one-
Jessica Jones. That's the one I'm looking
Yes.
forward to. That looks cool.
The other one that I'm excited for that we just saw a trailer for is Minority Report, which is as we were talking with The Fugitive, set in the same universe.
Right.
It's the same thing 10 years later, picking up one of the precogs we saw in that movie and then telling a new story. That is really exciting to me.
I wasn't in love with the trailer, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to love the show because I love the idea of it and I love to go into that world again.
I was hesitant about when they turned 12 Monkeys into a show, and though I didn't see the full season yet, I'm way behind. What I saw was actually quite
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually a very clever show. This
Yeah.
can be done. It's got to be better than the Total Recall TV series it did in the early 90s. Look that up on YouTube. That
No,
show is
don't.
terrible.
I believe it actually
Don't
came out in the year
do it.
2070.
Oh, excuse me. Right, it was the prequel to Cleopatra 2525. I forgot. We're nerding out. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching Most Craved. Follow us on Twitter, @MostCraved, and tell us about all the things that we talked about and your opinions about them so that we can talk to you and that we can keep this conversation going. And we'll see you next week.
Just tweet us. Woo, Mad
Tweet
Max.
us.